Car reviews. We're not reviewing cars. We're reviewing movies in a car.
All right, hey guys, welcome to Entertainment Rebooted. We're doing a special segment of Cinema Reviewed, where DJ and I go to a movie theater, we watch a movie, and we'll give you guys our review. So the movie that we just saw today was the Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. And first we'll give you, like, I don't know, you want to do like just like a numbered review, and then we'll get into like our likes or dislikes?
Yeah, I mean, to start out, I give it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Like, straight up. What about you?
I'd give it 7.5 or 8 out of 10. Like, just overall, the film is great. I like the score. I like the plot. The acting was good. It was just a fun movie. The only reason that I knock it is there's times in the cinematography where the focus is not clearly defined. Like, the focus of the camera is not in the center of the screen. It's usually like on the side of the screen. And as a result, you get distracted by the visuals in the background. And when you get distracted by the visuals in the background, it's blurry. So there's sometimes when you're literally watching a blurry screen because they've purposely made the focus of the film on like a weird spot of the camera.
I will agree there's a lot of moments where there's not good cinematography on the scene background. There's a couple just minor continuity errors here and there, and there's a few MacGuffin kind of things, but it works really well in a D&D film because it follows, honestly, the kind of rules of D&D. It feels like a D&D campaign.
Yeah.
It feels like a believable D&D gameplay. There's choices characters make that is exactly the kind of thing like a character would have done. And I'm not even talking like a player playing a D&D character. I mean the characters themselves. Something a druid would do in a situation, something a sorcerer would do in a situation, something a bard would do in a situation, because of the limits to their magic, their abilities. The type of world that this has distinct rules, and they follow them very well. There is a little bit of uncanny valley with some of the creatures, but for the most part, it's practical effects mixed with CGI, and they do a really good job. And I will say that the Dragonborn were just impressive. Out of all of the non-human creatures, that's one they use a lot, and it's really well done.
Yeah, for sure. It's really clear that when they were making the film that they focused a lot of their energy and stuff on the dragons. Just in general, like a lot of the reptilian creatures are pretty well done. I forget the name of the snake creatures, but there's one of them at the beginning.
Wanty. Yeah.
Wanty, yeah. And they're only showed for a little bit, but it's pretty clear that they took some time to like really take care of their reptilian characters. The Dragonborns were really well done. They actually looked like they were on the screen. Like with most of these strange creatures and stuff like that, it probably was a mix of practical and CGI. They looked like they belonged, and the Dragonborn's really cool. The dragon that they use, that's probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
That was good.
The dragon. Not to like spoil anything, but if you guys are going to see the movie, there's just a great sequence with the dragon. It's awesome.
There's stuff in here that I didn't really expect them to pull off, and some things that I thought they would have done to try to avoid it. They don't pull that whole, hey, we're just going to go the easy route and pick a lot of human characters for the most part. The main cast, they kind of do that with, but there's a lot of moments throughout this where they really use effects to a really good use. It's not even Easter eggs. These aren't even D&D Easter eggs. This world feels like D&D. It makes the world feel alive. The Forgotten Realms is brought to life.
Yeah, for sure. Like it's one of the things that I think D&D did really well that some other movies that are based in like fantasy realms and based off of games kind of struggle with, is it has a perfect blend of people who don't know D&D are going to enjoy the film because of what it is, but there's enough within the movie and there's enough references within the movie that if you play or if you understand how the game works, you're not going to be completely pulled down and be like, that's not how it works. That's not how it works at all. Like combat, you can actually watch the combat and you can look at it just like no idea how D&D combat works, and it's just a fun action sequence, and they did a really good job. But if you actually pay attention to it and you're like, hey, how are they actually handling this in the rules of D&D, it actually kind of feels like how combat would be if you didn't have to actually verbally explain everything that your character was doing.
So
yeah, like spoilers ahead. So like this is like so before we go into spoilers, overall great film. We recommend that you go and see it. It's awesome. You'll like it even if you don't play D&D, and if you do play D&D, you're going to feel like they respected the materials.
yes.
Overall, go see the film. From now on, though, it'll be spoilers.
So for the first spoiler, the reason I want to bring that up now is because there's a moment in the film where the sorcerer he puts this helmet on and he sees his ancestor and he just blasts him. And I was like, that's a great example of a critical fail. Like, you're trying to attune to this thing and it's like, nope.
Yeah.
So one of the things in D&D, dice rolls control the game technically, but there needs to be story behind it. And a good DM, good characters will give reasons behind the roll. So if, like, say you roll a 1, oh, well, you slipped and fell on your sword or something silly, whatever. This movie does a great job of showing what that's like in practical usage. There's a moment in the film where a guy slips and falls and dies. He literally slips on a tub and dies. It's like a critical fail getting up out of the tub. Like, it just ties.
That's true. Yeah, he did.
Yes.
He totally did.
Yeah, he slips and dies.
Slips and dies.
There's another moment where, like, the paladin is, like, sliding down this bridge and, like, leaps into the air and sticks his sword into the head of a dragon. And you're like, critical success.
That's totally in that point.
Yeah. And it plays really well into that idea of, really epic stunts are rare and really epic fails are. Most people are normal. Most people are in the middle. But every once in a while, someone flies and sticks a sword into a dragon.
That's true. And not only that, like, all the characters were really well done, if I'm just being honest. Like, all of them were really believable. Like, just, like, characters were amazing. Like, every single one of the characters had their own strengths. They had their own weaknesses. They had their own backstories and motivations and things like that. And it all goes together like a great party. Like, it's one of the things that I think even like real players struggle with sometimes, is making interesting characters that have great backstories that work great in a party. Like, yeah, and it's an interesting play. Like, I could definitely see it happening in a D&D.
And there are heroes, but nobody's like perfect. Like the hero part, it's like the hero's party, but they're not. They're just a bunch of thieves they have a goal in mind that they're trying to get to, and they just end up being in the wrong place at the right time to like help out against the big bad, which is very D&D like. Like, yeah. Hey, go check on that village and see how they are. Okay. Oh, there's a demon here killing people. Let's take him out. Like, that's kind of how this plays out. Their motivation is not to take out the big bad. They don't really care. They have their own motivations that they're trying to follow, and the big bad just gets in their way, so they take them out because they're there. Overall, like, some of the just to finish up, like a few quick highlights. The battle scenes were amazing. The druid wild shifts were really good. Yeah. At the end there's a big mage hand fight that was just epic.
That was awesome.
They're just some of the magic fights were really good. The characters were solid. The character development is believable and makes sense. There's the continuity works throughout the film. The cinematography is pretty spot on, except for a few issues of shaky cam or some issues of focus. Overall, just really fun, and just that's it. Overall, it's just really fun. So, like I said, I give it a 9 out of 10. Solid film. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun. I would definitely encourage everyone to watch this. That even if you're not a big D&D campaign fan, if you just like fantasy, it's just good.
And the thing is, like, you don't actually have to know anything about D&D to enjoy this film. They did a really good job of that because, like I said earlier, it is a D&D movie. Anybody who has played D&D can definitely see aspects of the game in the movie. But the way that they did it was they explained all the basics that you needed to understand. There wasn't some lore that you had to understand in some way to really, truly appreciate what was going on. You didn't have to know the lore behind the guilds that they were a part of, or the country that they were traveling to, or the cities that they were going to. It felt more like an Easter egg that was believable, and you learned enough about the backstory through cinematography that if you knew it, it's not boring. If you don't know it, you understand enough to make the film continue to go on. It's just an overall fun film. It's not going to get Oscars because it's not an Oscar bait film. Like, there's nothing in it that screams Oscar artsy. It is a fun film. It is a popcorn flick. It's great. It's a movie that every single person who actually watches movies is going to love. And even people who aren't like super into movies is going to love. But the people who rate movies aren't going to love it. Like, that's the thing that sucks about Hollywood.
Yeah, so that's our review of Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Good movie. Yep. We enjoyed it. Take it out, have fun, and watch it when you get the chance. It's good. It's worth it.
Yep, definitely. So thanks guys for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe if you like what we're doing here. If you want more things in the car, we can do that. If you want it back in our regular area with the better lighting and stuff like that, we totally understand too. We'll make it work. Let us know in the comments. Let us know what movies you want us to watch that are new, or movies that are old that you want us to watch, as we're going to start doing more things on the channel. As always though, like, comment, subscribe, let us know how we're doing, and we'll see you guys in the next video.